It's Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to my channel, honey. Let's go ahead and get into the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, honey. Let's talk about it. All right, y'all, come on in, come on into the room. As you guys come into the room, be sure to hit that like button for your girl, honey, okay? Let's talk about this episode. The episode wasn't as eventful as last week's episode, okay? Because there was a whole lot going on, because Miss Wanda definitely came out to play, honey. But we did not see Miss Wanda this episode, but, you know, it was cute. It was cool for what it is and what it was. So first things first, right? Hey, Greta. Hey, Zaza. Hey, Dyrese. Hey, Summer. Okay. Okay, let's get started, honey. Okay. So we're introduced with Mel opening up the show. Y'all know she's working on her music video for her song Telltale Signs. She's having a good old time doing that. She says that this was like a dream of hers ever since she was a child. So it feels good to be able to live out that dream. Okay, thanks to Martell. All right, now we learned that this house that she's in, that she's filming in, is her good girl's Stormy's house. And at first I thought it was Mel's house, but I was wrong. It was her homegirl Stormy's house. Now her friend Brittany stopped by. Brittany helped her watch the kids, okay? She helped her, she babysit the kids while Melody was over there doing her thing. Now, y'all remember a while ago when Martell started having all these antics and stuff going off on Mel, talking about how Mel was not, you know, with the kids. She was just leaving them with anybody and stuff, just going off. Well, come to find out, she was leaving the kids with Brittany. And this is a person that Martell knows, okay? He's very familiar with Brittany. They've been friends for many, many years and stuff. He started coming for Brittany because Brittany only got one child. He talking about she not equipped to handle her child and all of their children together. So he started throwing shade at Miss Brittany. So Mel felt the need to apologize to her on behalf of, you know, Martell and all of the drama that goes along with it, okay? I cannot take it. I'm not here for Mel. I'm not here for her singing, but okay, go off, Mel. Hilarious. I like the little song, Telltale Signs. It's a little cute. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was cute. All right, so where else was I? So yeah, Mel had to apologize because Martell was on his little rant or whatever, trying to talk down about Miss Brittany. But Brittany took the high road. Brittany was like, girl, listen, I knew that man wasn't well. I knew he had some stuff going on with him. So I let it be exactly what it is and where it is, okay? Because misery loves company. He wanted me to come over there and join him. And I was not going to partake in that. So I had to collect myself and realize who it is that I am. That's where Brittany was. I wasn't mad at Brittany at all. I do think that he was out of line, though. I think he was out of line for pulling that lady into his BS, and she ain't had nothing to do with it. And she over there watching the kids. It ain't like you was going to come and get the kids and relieve them from her anyway. Relieve them from Mel. So, yeah, he was out of line for that. Let's see what y'all saying. There's teachers who have no children and manage a whole classroom of kids. Okay? That excuse was stupid, all right? Hey, big, hey. Just wanted to hop on and say hi. Just came from church. Hope everyone has a blessed day and week. Yes, Romeo, come on. We will have a blessed day and week. Hey, T, how you doing, honey? All right, so Jalen, Tisha, and Marlo. Woo, y'all. So Tisha done stopped by. You know, she stopped by Black. She wants to check on Jalen and everything. See how things are going, right? She wants to know how he's been doing with the shortage because they had some workers to quit on them. The bar manager as well as the chef quit on them, leaving Jalen, a person that is inexperienced in this field, to manage everything, right? And this was a very busy weekend, so these individuals quit. What else did Jalen say? I feel like if they left, it was because of Tisha and Marlo. Tisha and Marlo don't know what they're doing as they get into this restaurant business and owning a bar and all that. They don't know what they're doing, honey. They don't. And I just don't like how they try to make it seem like everything is Jalen's fault. At least that's how it comes off to me, right? So Jalen, of course, when they spoke on it, Tisha is like, listen, I understand a lot has been going on, but you haven't been sending the nightly reports. So he says, yeah, I haven't been sending these nightly reports because the baby girl, you know, we had a whole lot of stuff going on. So I had to play many roles, okay? I had to go over here and be the bar manager. I had to go over here and cook in the back. I had a lot of stuff that I needed to do that was not going to allow me to get you these nightly emails that your ass want, okay? Which is funny because it's slick like, girl, if you want these nightly reports, then how about you come in, you or your husband, and y'all print them off? How about that? Okay, you got much access to your own restaurant as I do. But I understand he got a position that he's in and he's required to do certain things. And that's what Tisha tells him. You know, even though he took ownership, like, that's my fault. I should have did better. I didn't send him out, whatever. Tisha goes on to let him know, like, I understand you have a whole lot going on, but despite what you have going on, it's your responsibility to still do your job at the end of the day. Okay? What you say, Summer? No, Marlo treats his employees like he treats Tisha. Okay? Try. One thing about Marlo that I don't like is he don't like to take accountability for actions, but he expects everybody else to do so. That's the problem for me. T says that Tisha and Marlo pissed me off with this combo. You can tell they never worked in service. These the kind of bosses I cannot stand. Exactly. And we knew they was taking it left field when he decided to give Jalen this position, even though Tisha was telling this man, listen, you need somebody that's more experienced. He wanted to do what it was that he wanted to do. Girl, a whole mess. Let's keep going. Jalen asked, yo, are we good? She was like, yeah, we good. He was like, okay, well, I know that you and my mom have had some issues or whatever, and I wasn't sure if it was like, you know, you was gonna get to you was trying to get to me because you couldn't get to her. I wasn't sure if that's what it was. And then Tisha says, no, I always make sure that what's business is business and what's personal is personal. You don't ever have to worry about me mixing the two. So when I fast forward a little bit to the whole text message conversation, I'm wondering if that text message, when they talked about the text message and the issues that they had, I'm wondering if that's what if that's what Jalen was referring to, because he probably felt as though Tisha was coming off a little snappy in text messages, which led him to ask, like, girl, are you and I good? Because it does come off as though you don't trust me, in addition to the issues that you got going on with my mom. The shade that you send my way at times, could it be because of the issues you have with my mom? And Tisha assures him that that's not the case. So we'll see. Tisha says that it would be unprofessional of her to take personal issues and bring them into business. What else did she say? She says that she is offended for Jalen to assume that she'd have an issue with him based on his mom and her relationship. So she's feeling away. She also says that she isn't happy with Kimmy based on the conversation that Kimmy had with her mama. But I'm kind of like, you may not be happy with Kimmy, but you also told your mom that you need to get more understanding of how the conversation flowed between she and Kimmy, so you can understand why Kimmy came at your mom in a certain fashion. But now, so basically when you said it, it seems as though you wanted to assess everything. You wasn't putting blame on anybody, but now you sit in this confessional and it seems as though you're putting blame off on Kimmy, like Kimmy was the person 100% wrong in this situation. Agreed. I agree. Jalen is literally begging for help and they are ignoring him. Absolutely. And that's what, as I move into Marlo, that's something that bothered me, because Marlo comes in and he wants to speak about the employees quitting and then telling Jalen, like, oh, you know, you could have also walked out with them and you didn't. So shout out to you for you know, holding it down. That shows growth. That shows, like, you know, responsibility, all of this and that, right? But the issue for me was for him to ask Jalen, let us know how you feel about, you know, everything about you working here, about us. Let us know honestly. And it's like, why are you asking him this when, like, 2 or 3 episodes ago, you've already asked this man this? He's already told you exactly how he feels. So now you're coming back asking him again when you already know exactly what it is he's going to say. So, Jalen says that they were more hands off than he expected them to be. And he thought that he was going to get the training that they told him he would get, and he didn't get it, right? Jalen also said, you know, the day or the weekend that we were hella busy, this was when I expected you guys as owners to step up and come and help out in some fashion, and you all didn't do that. Marlo says in the confessional that he expected Jalen to acknowledge and see the potential that he has within himself, but instead he felt as though Jalen was just giving him, I don't want to say excuses, but he said Jalen just made him feel like he was expecting somebody to rescue him. Yes, he was, and he should have. Obviously, neither one of y'all have worked in that type of service capacity to really know what it feels like for people to not be there and you have to fill in for them. Whether it's being a cook in the back, then you got to run to the front and help get these people drinks out and stuff, because the whole goal is to not have to keep people waiting, right? To continue to push forward and to make money. So I just really did not like the questioning that Marlo had, and then for him to sit up there and say, oh, well, he seemed like he needed rescuing. Yes, he did. He been needed rescuing. He needed rescuing before y'all took y'all to Houston, when you talked to him and told him that you were going to give him some assistance. And I bet you this very reason this situation has happened, like now that y'all have seen everything that's happened and how important it is, I bet y'all wish y'all would have had somebody to help him out then. I bet y'all wish y'all would have had somebody to come on through, help this baby out, so y'all wouldn't be in a bind. Okay, so I didn't like that at all. Marlo really gets on my nerves for him to not accept blame and fault as him being a owner of a restaurant. He pushes it off on Jalen as if Jalen is supposed to automatically know what the fuck is what when he's never done this before. I ain't like that. I ain't like that at all. Let me see what you guys are saying over here in these comments. Most restaurants have at least 3 managers. A front of house manager, a back of house manager, and a GM general manager, which makes sense because if you have a management team, then somebody should be able to fill in somewhere, right? So even if one of those guys were out, I would expect the general manager to know what to do, or even the front manager. The front manager may know what to do, as he may be able to do both ends. The back manager, vice versa. So that's what I would expect. That just makes no sense to me. Tisha hit him with the, well, you survived. I cannot deal. It's annoying how they keep referencing him surviving a tough weekend as a blessing. Yikes. So I took that as she is feeling away. She kept emphasizing on she'll never bring the personal into the business. I wonder if Jalen is I wonder if Jalen is getting backlash from the skies as Kimmy is. Tisha's people seem like they would make messes up comments around him. I didn't fully get that. I'm sorry. Messed up. I'm trying to type fast, y'all. It's okay. Y'all don't forget to like and subscribe to her. Thank you so much, T. Yes, please be sure to like and subscribe. Show some love. She's always on here putting out content. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love you back, Rose. Tish and Marlo need to close their business. They don't know how to handle a business, especially when Jalen kept asking for help. My thing is, I wouldn't say, that they should close it. I think a lot of people, when they first open their businesses, they may have woes, right? They don't fully understand. So they're learning this as they go, right? But I do think they need to get a full understanding of how this should be ran before they try and open up another location in Houston. Okay? That's really gonna fall out. If y'all can't get the one that you got right here in your own area up the street from your house, if you can't get that one in tip-top shape, why would you go and open it up in a whole nother state when you know you can't be there? That doesn't make any sense at all. And y'all know Marlo gonna use that as an excuse to not be at the house with them kids and Tisha, just so he can say they need help over here. He gonna be really trying to manage what's going on over there like he didn't do over here with Jalen anyway. So Tisha, be careful, girl. Be careful, honey. Get this one under control before y'all move forward. There's a problem with the way Tisha and Marlo are running things. Why is everybody quitting? And that's what I was saying. Everybody leaving, girl. Y'all are the problem. It's you. Y'all are the problems. And then y'all want to sit up here and talk to him as though, number one, like somebody else said, like, oh yeah, it's a blessing that you survived. But then also when he calls y'all out on y'all SHI, it's like he's giving y'all excuses or something like that. Like, girl, go ahead. I can't. Why do they think Why do they think he cooks, serve, and do emails, reports all at the same time? He's not omnipresent. Child. We still expect you, like we understand everything that's going on, but we still expect you to do your job at the end of the day. Child, I don't be understanding why any jobs are like that. I don't be understanding. That's what and it's crazy because it's like that in the service industry. It's like that in the corporate industry. People be passing you they reports and they documents and stuff to fill out. And the moment that you lag on your work, they got a question, well, BIT, I was too busy doing your work. Like, excuse me? If you spend more time doing your work, then I wouldn't have to do it for you. Then I could get these other files done. Sad. Tisha was unbothered. Lets me know she definitely is okay with Jalen on purpose. Okay. That's why Kimmy called. Oh, okay. So she pretty much gets smart is what you're saying with Jalen on person. Also, the mental health impact of what they put this boy through, restaurant industry ain't no joke. I agree. And if I was Jalen, I would quit. Like, why the fuck? Like, no. And it's also crazy because Kimmy, even though Kimmy had told her son, like, I feel like they don't fully equip you or something like, or they set you up to fail or whatever. It was like when they were at the house. Remember, they were at the house and he was they had just brought the investment property or whatever. She also kind of went on to it seemed like she kind of had the back of Kimmy and Marlo that, you know, it's just how it goes. He just needs to learn X, Y, Z or whatever. Girl, no, my baby probably would have quit. Like, now you see what it's like, but you ain't got to work there. I would tell them, you do not have to work at that job. I don't give family or not. If it's not servicing you, if it's affecting your mental or whatever, if you're waking up every day and you're dreading going into that location, baby, you don't have to go there. You do not have to work there. Please leave. But you know, Tisha, not Tisha, but Kimmy wants him to, I don't know what Kimmy wants. She just wants him to be able to work and understand that it's not free. And right now he's not at a place where he can fully, you know, pursue his dreams. So I guess he just got to ride the wave. I would mess around and quit if I was Jalen. They're going to blame that man if their business doesn't do as well. He's only one person and it's their money. Tisha does seem like she don't like Jalen. Every time she's around him, she seems like she doesn't feel like talking to him and tries her best to muster up a smile. Yikes. I mean, you can tell they're not close, you know, at all. Why are people quitting? And also, what happened to getting him help, as he had said? That's what I'm saying. Right? That's why I didn't like the questioning that Marlo asked. Like, what are your thoughts? How are you feeling about this? Like, let's speak honestly. And I wanted him to say, honestly, I've been told y'all that I needed help a long time ago and y'all have failed to do it. And this is a clear example as to why I need help should situations like this happen. Okay? I can't. Nene is super hands-on with the Lanithia Lounge. Even in Greg's death, she's still there. So I don't understand why Tisha and Marlo thinks it's okay to be absent so early in the business. I agree. And Nene got flack for that. You know what I'm saying? People kind of drug Nene for that, being in that location while her husband was, you know, slipping away. Child, gotta do what you gotta do in business. It's unfortunate. And speaking on Nene, we just don't know how long that lady was at the house with that man and needed to slide out real quick just to check on it. But people drug her. And here it is. It's a similar situation with these folks and they ain't nowhere to be found. And they don't even have no relative that's down and out right now that's preventing them from really being there. And another thing, as I highlight before I even get to it, when I think about when Maurice, I can go and talk about it. Maurice goes over to see Lewis. He tells Lewis, "Oh, I didn't know you was the secretary." Lewis said, "You know, when you run your business, you got to just fill in wherever it's needed." And I said, "Oh, they left that in there for a reason." Okay, sometimes you got to be in the back. You got to be over here. You got to be the maintenance person. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do when it's your business. Okay, so that's something that Marlo and Tisha needs to learn. But y'all also got to understand Marlo, right? Marlo don't want to really do no fucking work. Okay, I don't know how he sees people or what his view is, but when it comes down to like real estate, he got that down pack, right? He could do that building, all that other stuff. But when it comes to, when I think about the conversation he had with Tiffany when they went out and she said something about children, he said, "That's why I have a wife." Y'all heard Tisha talk about how she does all the shopping. She gets the kids dressed. She do this, she do that. So it seems like once he gets people in a certain position, he don't want to have to deal with none of this. He expects Jalen to do everything. One thing Marlo is good at is cracking jokes and dictating. That's what he likes to do. He don't like to get his hands dirty for real, for real. Even in real estate, now that I think about it, I think he's just good at dictating and maybe making a few calls. Like, I need this, this, and this. Can you be there at this time, scheduled at this time? You put in the work, I'll dictate and tell you where it needs to go. But as far as really get his hands dirty, I don't think Marlo be want to do none of that shit. But let's go ahead and move on. Okay. So so they talk. So he said something about Jalen wanting to be rescued. And I just feel like y'all should have been rescued, Jalen, when Jalen told y'all he needed help. And Marlo, you already said that you was gonna give him that. And you have yet to do it. And y'all went to Texas how many episodes ago? Exactly. Get it together. Okay. Tisha apologizes to Marlo for doing too much the other day. She says that he would No, he says that he would have answered the question had it been a question of his wife. But if somebody else can put that in her head, he's like, I'm not going to answer that question because it's like I'm answering to them, and that's dead as fuck. Now, I did not mind him not answering her question because it was really coming from Miss Wanda. In addition to that, Tisha said that she felt like she had something she needed to prove to people. And I told y'all that on the last episode. That is exactly, in my last review, I told y'all that's exactly the energy she was giving. She was giving that she needed to prove a point to people, to let people know everything is all well in my house. We're good here, we're good there. So basically letting y'all know, I see y'all comments. I see what y'all have to say about me and my family, but that was her way of letting y'all know she good and going the extra mile to try and check this man. I told y'all last week's episode, he was looking shocked because she don't operate like that. She don't do stuff like that. But then she gets in that show last week and she just did too damn much. Okay, so now she's having to go back and apologize for that. Okay. He tells her that she don't ever have to really, approve anything to people. That's where they always go wrong because Marcel don't care to prove to nobody. But Tisha always feels the need to do the most, to go a little further. And that's where they end up having, some differences or whatever. Then she lets him know about their family trip or the anniversary trip. She wants to invite everybody to go out to Vegas. So he's down with that. He thinks it's going to be great. Her mom will not be in attendance because that was the first question he asked. This is cute, but is Miss Wanda going to be there? Okay. And she says she's not. She needs a break from her. But y'all, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to fly Miss Wanda out anyway. I hope we don't see Miss Wanda, but I wouldn't be surprised if they try to fly her out at the very end of the trip just to get up, child. I don't have time. He was doing his job. His job is to make sure that SHI is still afloat. Correct. They are purposefully taking advantage because he's family, inexperienced, and cheap labor. I was just thinking that. Yes, cheap labor. Because I'm like, dang, how much are they paying this guy? He's fresh out of college. They love trying to goop people with the whole go to college thing. Once you go to college, oh my God, you'll make so much money. Child, we know that's not true. Okay? Because once you come out of college, they expect you to have so many years of experience and stuff. And with him being a family member and a new graduate child, they weren't trying to get him nothing. But it was something in his pocket, I'm sure. What else did I see that I wanted to read? Let me go up a little bit. Where did I lose it? I think I know Jalen is stressed the F out because everything is falling onto him and he's learning as he go, basically winging it. I think he doesn't quit because he doesn't want to add to the tension. I think it could be that he doesn't want to add to the tension. And then I also feel like his mom is encouraging him to stay in that particular position. Yeah. So that man has to cook, take care of the books, host, serve, manage employees, right? Did Tisha talk about going to Vegas right after Jalen just said that staff ain't staffing and he needs help? Yes, she did. Yeah, just like they went ahead and went to Houston. Yeah, she want to go to Vegas for a little bit while they ain't got no help. Then try and hire somebody. We didn't see that they did. Okay, to get his boy a little help. He a good one though. He a good one. I think he's just trying to be a good associate family member. She was trying to get him to see it for himself, so it can't be said that she told him to quit or something. I would quit too. That is a lot. Pay me more money. Especially if he got to do all these different positions. And I just feel like maybe Jalen could interview somebody. I mean, he might know what it is he wants or something. Let him do a soft interview and then pass the people on to y'all for y'all to do the final interview. But they need to get the ball rolling. Cooks do not host, nor will a bartender run a report. Too many hats, no training. No wonder everyone else left. Okay? And I just feel like it's y'all. It's y'all. Y'all not even addressing that issue, girl. But y'all trying to go ahead and ride out into the sunset to get to Vegas. Baby. Girl, when Tisha said, well, let's help him take down the chairs, like it's his fucking restaurant. I can. This is what lets me know that Marcel's uncle isn't the problem with Scott Manor. Of course not. Of course not. I told y'all, Marcel has just as much issue taking on accountability as Martell does. I'm telling y'all, they damn near the same person. Now, I'm not saying that Marcel has cheated or anything, but they damn sure have some similarities. But I do think that Martell may value family more than he value marriage. You know what I'm saying? Because he likes to do things with his kids. Meanwhile, Marlo don't like to do none of it. He leaves all of that up to Tisha. She did in the very beginning. She did. Tisha tell Marlo he should hire a more experienced. She did. She tried to tell him that, but he wanted to do something where he kept it all in the family, honey. I'm just waiting for Jalen to let them know before the season is over that, hey, this has been great. I appreciate the experience. I'm going to take this experience with me on to my next venture because this right here ain't it. But thank you for the opportunity. I'm late, but I don't understand how they didn't show up when those folks walked out. The way they handle Black lets me know why Scott Manor is Scott Nanor. Not Nan nor House Tribe. Not Nan nor House and been up there and been built. That is funny. Yeah, you would have expected that. So I don't. And then it's just it's a small business, right? This y'all first location. Y'all don't really have a lot of background on restaurants and stuff, but it's y'all first business. And typically when it's a first business, or even if it's a first franchise, a lot of owners like to still be in there because they want to know the ins and outs, right? It only makes sense. And I also feel like they should be in there off top, just so they'll be able to kind of like sympathize with their employees and what all they have to go through when it gets like super busy and stuff. But they don't want to do that, child. They just want it for the look so they can say it look good and stuff. And I mean, it's swag. They let Tish talk too much on this episode. She definitely did a lot of talking. At this rate, Black will be shut down in no time. Oh, yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Not Scott Manor is Neverland, honey. Y'all going in these comments, honey. Jalen will be able to open his own ish when he's done there. I agree with you, Jamie. I think Kimmy is talking him into staying. I do. I think that she is. I think she is. Okay. So I already talked about Maurice and Lewis. So he stopped by. He wanted to check the temperature and stuff. After he done sat up there and made Miss Tiffany cry. So he also turns around and lets him know that he feels as though all is forgiven because she did shed those tears. Because Miss Girl did cry, we good now. So let's go ahead and move forward to the next thing, which is to Vegas, because you guys have been invited to celebrate with Tisha and Marlo. So all is well. They good. They gonna move on. We'll see how this is gonna go because it ain't gonna take long before Miss Tiffany say something else, and she did. Destiny at the house. I want to say this. Destiny seemed like she was bothered. Did anybody get that from Destiny when Mel went to go see her? It seemed like she could have been that could have been one of the days she was really going through. I think Destiny was just going through a lot. It was just like on her face. It was like a heavy day for her or something. Like, I don't know if it was that she didn't want to be bothered, or if it was something she probably wanted to talk to Mel about, but didn't want the cameras around. She just seemed like she could have been having a hard time on that day when Mel stopped by. They bring up the fact that the trip is coming up. They've been invited on this trip, and Destiny said, girl, we're gonna be the only two single ladies there. And then Mel said, no, we not, girl. Martel gonna be there. He's single. I'm like, is Martel single? Martel did say he's single, honey, so I guess so. Mel said Martel's single, but I tell you this, they better not have us doing no group activities together or none of that, because I don't want to do anything with this man, right? What else did she say? She said it's his week to get the kids, but he loves talking about how he ain't got no help with these kids. So we're going to see exactly how that's going to play out. We are going to see what he going to do. I wonder where was the kids, though, if it was his weekend to get the kids. Did he have the kids with his mama? Who had the kids, okay? Or did you have to send them back to Atlanta to be with Mel's brother? Who had the kids, honey? Let's move on. Destiny said, well, girl, can we do the same thing with Tiffany? And Mel's like, girl, you still on that? You still got an issue? Yeah, I do still have an issue with Tiffany, because Tiffany do not know how to read a motherfucking room, nor does she know how to deliver her information. So I'm not trying to do a damn thing with Miss Girl, and it ain't changing over here. So what else is going on? Okay. And I ain't fault Miss Destiny too much, feeling a way about Tiffany. Mel tells her that, listen, if you don't go, then I'm not going. And then Destiny said, well, slow your roll, grasshopper, because I'm going to go. Okay. I done got divorced. I done had this baby. I ain't have no free time. Girl, I'm going to be on that motherfucking trip. Okay. Come hell and high water, I will be there. But she also let her know, like, I have to take little man to go be with his dad. That's just what it is. I got to take little man to be with his dad in person. I have to drop him off. So once that happens, then I'll come. So I'll probably be a day late. Mel said, that's fine, girl, because when you get there is when I'm going to get there. So there's that. Mr. Lewis had absolutely no smoke when Maurice came to visit. He didn't. He didn't, because he slick said something about how he been drinking, things would have went a different way at the restaurant when they made Tiffany cry. He said, ain't nobody died, so y'all need to move on. Yeah, that was him. When Destiny said that about Tiff, I thought she was being so extra and petty. LOL. Give the girl a second chance cautiously. This is a storyline for Marlo and Tisha to show a startup business. Destiny went hard on Mel. Mel didn't know what to think how Destiny was acting. Okay. The way Destiny said she wants to be there to take Law to his daddy, it did look like her and LB were baby daddy, a boy, mama fighting. Yeah, okay, so it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me. I don't like the way Tisha and Marlo are handling business when it comes to Jalen and then act like they're doing him a favor. They're both shit. I agree. Tiffany really doesn't know how to read a room. Her comments would land her on Team Slytherin. She's slick with it, girl. She gonna get to the right one. She's gonna get to the right one. So let's go ahead and get to Vegas, right? So everybody makes it to Vegas, of course, without Destiny and Mel. So they're gonna be a little late. Tisha lets everyone know that, they're celebrating their 15 years. They wanted to do it with them. So all is well. They're celebrating with their friends. Tisha is sure, though, to tell the Whitlows, Tiffany and her man Louis, that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. She said, I don't want to hear none of this out there in Huntsville. True. Because we know she can talk. Okay. Now they call him Martell Marcus. I guess because that was his name when he was out there in Miami. But Martell says, listen, I'm single this time. So if Marcus comes out and a young lady wants to have a good time, I can do that. No strings attached. I can have a good time on nobody nothing. Okay. So they get to the house. The house is looking all nice. The couples go ahead and choose their room. I don't think Mel gonna stay in the room with Martell on next episode when they tell her that your room is with him. I think she probably gonna end up staying with Destiny. They probably was being funny. I don't think she's gonna stay over there with Martell. That would be interesting if she settles with that and she just goes with it and she stays in the room with Martell. We'll see. So Marcel goes to the kitchen because there was so many different conversations that was happening, in my opinion. I was like, what is happening? We talking about this, where we at? What's trying to pull it all together. So Marcel is in the kitchen. He about to eat up Kimmy food. Kimmy said, no, ma'am, you're not going to eat my food because you didn't put this on your list, honey. So if you ain't got no list, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Give me my motherfucking food. So out of nowhere, Maurice took this opportunity to talk about how I guess SCX was on his list, but Kimmy was trying to bring help. And I was like, okay, we're bringing up this threesome thing yet again. Okay, we're bringing that up again. So Tisha rephrases what he says and tells Kimmy that he's basically saying that, he can't please you unless you got a little help. And he's like, girl, that's not what I said. So they're getting on this whole threesome conversation. Marcel says that if Tisha finds a woman, then she ain't cheating. Hilarious, because Martell goes on to say that because some people feel like that's cheating or whatever. Some people feel like they're not. That's not cheating. But Martell made sure to let them know like cheating is when the other person don't know about it. And I said, well, then you would know about that part too, huh? Okay, right. Okay. So then they bring up Destiny into the conversation because Destiny felt as though she probably would have been the person to do the threesome because Kimmy likes to rub and touch. So then Maurice said something like, okay, I understand that about Kimmy, but why would she add me? And it's like, first of all, you trying to me. I feel like Maurice was trying to find out whether or not Destiny really liked him like that or something. Like whether Destiny really thought he was fine or something like that. Like, I mean, I get that, but why me? Like, because you're her husband. Who else is she gonna do a threesome with, sir? You're her husband. That girl ain't feeling you like that. Okay. Anyway, Tisha says threesomes only work when you plan it out. You have to, plan. No, I'm sorry. When you don't plan it. That's what she says. She says threesomes only work when you don't plan it. And it's just some random stuff that ends up happening. I don't know about that. Y'all let me know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I would think that you probably would want to plan it, but the way the ladies and the men or whoever be adding other females into the relationship, and then the person, just for one night of a threesome, that person end up snatching your mate. Maybe that's what she mean. Maybe you don't plan it. Maybe you just do it on the spur of the moment, honey, and you ain't got to worry about that person snatching up your man. But I would think that you would want to know something about these people before you just let them on into your bedroom, girl. They probably gonna rob you out there in Vegas. And you talking about a spur of the moment. Girl, y'all gonna have to let me know about this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been into that threesome life, child. But y'all can clue me in and let me know how this works. Cause okay. So Tiffany says that she doesn't know how Tisha has dealt with Marlo for the past 15 years. I said you and the rest of America. You and the rest of America. And maybe it's not for us to know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not. But you and the rest of America, we've been wondering, girl, how have you been dealing with this mother this long? She goes on to say that so when she brought up when they were all in the kitchen, he asked later on in the day, you know, after they found their rooms and stuff, he asked her, where is Louis? And she was like, oh, you know, he's starting to get up, you know, it's like babies. What happens when babies wake up? Basically, they got to get themselves readjusted. He tells her like, oh, I wouldn't know anything about babies because that's why I got my wife right here. She handles all of that. Okay, so once Marlo puts people in a certain position, he don't want to have to deal with none of that. He don't want to know anything about it. It's really on you to figure it out. Okay, because I don't have time for that. I don't want to deal with that. Like that's how he, I don't know, I don't want to say delegate, but that's just how he is, okay, about stuff. Tiffany says that a person that likes to joke a lot like Marlo on the things that he jokes about, she says that it really reveals what he truly believes and how he's feeling deep down inside. I don't think Tiffany was far off about that, but I don't think Tisha gonna like what she had to say in that confessional. Because you know she don't like nobody coming from Marlo, honey. Nobody can come from Marlo. Would they be down if they wanted to add an extra man for a threesome? Ooh, yikes, honey. It's going to get a little tricky then. Tisha is too insecure to have threesomes with Marlo. I agree. We saw how she's acted in the past at Houston. We've seen her talking about him delivering something to Mel without her knowing. And then we're going to see on next week's episode where she goes and talks to her brother-in-law about women in Vegas. At first it was women in Houston. Then it's women in Vegas. Then you got Destiny talking about women in Atlanta. Girl, what about the women in Huntsville, honey? Let's talk about that. But we're going to see where she's going to have this conversation with Maurice and telling Maurice that he needs to watch his brother. And I said, girl, you need to watch your security within yourself. That's what I'm not going to be on no trip over here worried about what my man, no, girl. That's just me. I'm not going to do it. Okay. And I feel like it makes me also feel like the reason why I wouldn't do it is because I feel secure within my relationship, right? I don't think she feels 100% secure within her relationship, which is why she needs somebody else to monitor him, or she can't even have a good time on her own because she's monitoring, seeing what it is that her man is doing. Let me snatch you up because Miss Girl is, a little too close to you. Go find your self-esteem somewhere in that closet. Maybe it's just me, but Tish looks at Martell like there's a slight attraction there. The way she was rubbing on his arms at Black. Martell, at the end of the day, a lot of people may not like Martell and his aunties, but Martell look good. Martell fine. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised. She probably just want him to be able to look just a little bit. Just a little bit. She may not want him, but she might be a little attraction. He's not a ugly guy at all. And she probably did want him to get a little peek. I noticed that the outfit that she had when she showed him the bathing suit, showed her husband, I noticed she didn't wear that one out. She wore a different one out. And I also feel like she probably wasn't going to tie something around her had Kimmy not tied something around herself. But who knows, child? Tisha shouldn't be talking about a threesome at all. She's insecure, and that will just add fuel to the fire. The way Maurice be holding information from Kimmy, I won't be surprised if she was side chick without knowing, right? Because we did get to that part of the conversation. Okay, so where am I? Okay, so this is when Marlo gets drunk, right? Lips chap. So Marlo gets drunk. All right, be sure to hit the like button, guys. I got over 300 people in the chat. I would highly appreciate it if you guys could just tap that like button. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so Marlo is drunk, and he speaks on how Maurice was in an effed up marriage. I didn't understand why he thought this was so funny, girl. He thought this was so hilarious. I said, yeah, this man is drunk because nothing about having an effed up marriage is really hilarious for some reason, but okay. Tiffany chimes in and says, oh, and that's when Kimmy had to save you. And Kimmy said, what was it? Kimmy said, what was it? She said, wait a minute now. Let me go ahead and get new girl together, because see, y'all out here alluding to the fact that I was a side chick and I wasn't. I got to clear that up mandatory right now. Okay. She goes on to say that is not what it was. Kimmy says that it was convenient for Martell to tell lies about her being a side chick to kind of distract from what he already had going on in his life. I agree with her on that. Kimmy clarifies that she has never been a side chick and will never be a side chick. Okay, she said she don't understand where Miss Tiffany has gotten this information. I wanted to know as well. I wanted to know, where did you get this information from? Did it come from Martell because that's what you heard, or did it come from somewhere else? And because they kept saying that it was Martell, it seemed like it was an easy way for Tiffany. Even though we never really heard where she got it from, it seemed like it was an easy way for her to say she got it from Martell. But see, that's the thing that I be wanting to know. Tiffany be having tea on stuff, but she don't be saying where she got it from. And that's what I be wanting to know. Stop throwing her a bone and let her tell us how she found this information out. Let's move on. So she wants to stop the whole talk about the side chick, right? But Marceau thinks it's hilarious. He thinks this is quite funny, right? And so he's continuing to laugh about it. And Kimmy says, oh, okay, so that's still funny. He's like, yeah. She said, okay, so is it as funny as you having a side baby? And he says, yeah, that is funny. She said, well, if it's so funny, I don't see Tisha laughing at that. All right. So then Tisha goes on to the confessional and says that she doesn't understand why Kimmy brought that up. And I'm like, she brought it up because y'all talking about side women, okay, side chicks. And what oftentimes comes along with being a side chick is eventually a side baby girl. So for me, I felt like that was all within the realm of the conversation. You just feel salty about it. Now, I don't know if she feels salty about it because it could possibly be true, or if she doesn't like that narrative being out there about her husband and her family when it's truly not true, right? So she definitely did not like that. What else did she say? Hold on, let me get to the comments, because this is when she transitions and start bringing up something else. As they want to talk about side babies, she also wants to change the subject. In addition to changing the subject, she wants to bring up something that had been bothering her. So that's that. But it's okay for them to rag on her about being a side chick, right? I don't think Marceau thought that was funny either. I think Maurice wasn't honest when they got together. That could possibly be true, because how Martell was saying it, he said Marceau told him that. And then I thought he said Maurice was saying that. So it's like, if Marceau told that to Martell, then where would he have gotten it from? Marceau either witnessed it or either his brother told him that. So it could have been a possibility that there could have been overlap within that situation. And I could see why Kimmy, if that was true, I could see why Kimmy may not have known, because I believe Kiowa was all the way in Detroit, whereas Kimmy was all the way down here in Huntsville. So if there was any going back and forth, she probably didn't know. She probably thought he was going up there to see his son or something. Who knows? But Kimmy, we also did an interview with Kimmy, the Ooh Ladies First panel, and Kimmy said something about how I think he was like dating other people when he met her. So if that was an overlap, as I'm thinking about it, she probably wasn't the only one, but she didn't want to go down there. Basically, she wanted him to make a decision on what he was trying to do. So it could have been that he and Kiowa were definitely over. He just was in his dating phase. And then he had to buckle down and make a decision on, solely moving forward with Kimmy. Kimmy is coming for everyone, and I'm here for it. I wish her husband would have the energy he had for Monster when defending him. True. Now, he definitely, I will say, I feel like Maurice was on the side of Kimmy. He didn't say a lot, but he was in the background, like agreeing with some of the things that she was saying. So he could have been more vocal, though, like he was about Monster. I understand that part. The fact that Maurice did not defend Kimmy when the man was laughing about her being a side chick makes me believe it was true. Kimmy just didn't know. Yikes. Maurice and Kiowa was over, but still married. They was living together. Okay, so they were over. He relocated to Huntsville, but they were still married. So they were in the process of getting a divorce. Well, Maurice was out here just digging around, girl. A whole mess. Let's go ahead and move on, okay? So Tisha used this opportunity to bring up the situation with Kimmy and Wanda. All right. She says that Kimmy told her mama to shut the book up, and she was banging on that table. And Kimmy says that she didn't say that. And I'm with Kimmy because it wasn't like Kimmy just said, shut the fuck up. She didn't say that. She just said, if you can't tell me what it is that I've done as you've accused me of doing, then stop fucking talking about it. That's all I'm saying. Stop talking about it. Right? So then Kimmy says what Wanda was doing was gaslighting, and it was putting Tisha in a position to come back and confront her about some stuff. And you don't even have the full story or the scope of what all happened, right? Kimmy feels like she has to fight with all of Tisha's family. Tisha says that, but they're speaking on stuff that happened on TV. And Kimmy said, well, girl, maybe they shouldn't be watching TV. Kimmy tells her that it's a lot of stuff that she could have cleared up for them. And Tisha says, I do clear this stuff up for them. Tisha goes on to bring up Jalen and her combo about the two of them, right? What did she say? I think she said Jalen got an attitude or something like that. But, well, before she got to him having an attitude, so she brought up the fact that Jalen asked her in the restaurant, are you and I good? She brought that up. And I think she was trying to equate it to her family coming at Kimmy. But I felt like that was different. Jalen was asking if you two are good, right? Based on how you may be with his mom or whatever. He was just asking, but are we cool, right? Jalen didn't confront you on anything. That's what your family does, Tisha. Jalen wasn't confronting you about anything you got going on with his mama. This boy was just coming to you, making sure that y'all are good, because obviously what I'm connecting to it is the way you get snappy in text messages or how you may act with him. And you probably act like that with him because you're mad that your husband sat up there and made him the general manager when you already knew that he should not have been. So if that could be the case, you need to put your energy towards your husband and not towards him. I'm not sure. I'm just, speculating or whatever. But all in all, when Jalen approached you, he wasn't approaching you to confront you about anything. He was just asking, how are you? Like, how are we? Are we good? But when your family comes to Kimmy, on some confrontation, like she did something wrong, like this, that, and the other. And she's saying you could clarify that stuff, just like you tried to clarify with your mom on last week by saying, whatever the issue was, I'm over it. We're fine, blah, 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 I'm moving forward, all of that. But you don't really do that. So that's why I feel like the difference is based on how they approach Kimmy versus how Kimmy's son approached you, but you trying to make it seem like they're one and the same. But I don't see it as one and the same. Tisha and Marcel don't have any experience running with a restaurant, so how do they expect poor Jalen to know how to do it? Okay, hashtag help Jalen, somebody. And so far, Kimmy hasn't confronted you about issues with Jalen like you and your mama do. Exactly, and that's what Kimmy said. Kimmy, because Tisha was like, Jalen was very rude. You should have read the text messages. Why you didn't read the text messages? She was like, but I did. But I do. I have seen the text messages, and nothing within that text message made me want to come and confront you and put you on the phone and say, hey, you said this to my son. Hey, you did this. Hey, you did that. So much so, when I see why Kimmy got frustrated with them, y'all, because to me, I feel like going back to when they were in the house, she was kind of defending them a little bit, even though she felt like they were setting him up for failure. It was like she still was kind of trying to defend them just a little bit. And I'm like, girl, my child won't be working in this place. I'm sorry, okay? You can go and find a whole nother job in real estate or something, get some experience that's going to benefit where you're really trying to go in life, okay? So there's that. What else did I want to say? Yeah, Kimmy brings up how Tisha is short with Jalen in text messages. Tisha says that her son was being short and rude. Kimmy was telling her that, Tisha, I'm using this as an example to say that you too can be a smart ass. While you're trying to come to me and say that I was a smart ass with your mom, and now your mama done went to you and told you some shit, which made you confront me. You can be a smart ass with my child, which you were, but I never felt the need to come and confront you as your mother do. So please understand and see the difference. What else? Tisha tells her that you're defending your son like my mom would defend me. I didn't really understand that part because I still feel like it's two different situations, but okay. Let me see what Kimmy is defending Jalen because she feels like he only got the job because of her relationship with Maurice. Who else will defend her son? Tish didn't pick up what Kimmy was putting down with her slow. I can't take her. She has too much to say for a person who has a lack of understanding. Yikes. I felt Kimmy was wrong for inputting herself in Jalen's work life. He is a grown man, and she would not do that if he worked somewhere else. This is why you shouldn't mix family. You felt like Kimmy was wrong. I didn't feel like Kimmy was wrong for inputting herself because I felt like Tisha was the one to bring it up, didn't she? Or was it Kimmy? I thought it was Tisha that brought it up. And when Kimmy did bring it up, she was just kind of connecting the two or using those as an example. And how she doesn't, come at Tisha the way that Tisha mom comes at her based on whatever happened between them. Let's see what else. Kimmy looked like she's about to give anybody who wants it Miss Wanda Tisha Marceau. Because she definitely said, oh, I can't stand you. Jalen can feel Tisha energy is off with him. I can see it myself. So what's the harm in him asking if he feels that way? Jalen is mature and calm, just like his mom. So I don't believe them. Yeah, she probably does have an issue with him. I don't know if it's because of Kimmy. I do feel like if there's an issue with Kim, either if Hey y'all, sorry about that. So I feel like if Kimmy does have an issue with if Tisha does have an issue with this young man, either or, it could be because of Kimmy, which I don't think that it is. Either way, both of them are misplaced. But the other example I would say is what I said earlier, right? I feel like she could be mad at him for getting a position that she didn't think that he should have gotten to begin with. But again, that energy that you may be giving off to him shouldn't be on him. It should be on Marceau, because you've been trying to tell him from the beginning. If you have an issue with his mom, that should be with his mom, right? So I just didn't feel like Kimmy was inserting herself with that. I feel like she was using it as an example. But Marceau goes on to let Tisha know that her son was being smart, right? And he does have a smart tone. Now, I will say this. At first, Kimmy was denying the fact that her son was getting smart with Tisha, but then she turned around and said that it was tones on both sides. So then she went ahead and agreed to the fact that her son could have gotten fly with Tisha and vice versa. So it was on both sides. So the conversation definitely took a left. But Marceau says that he was not choosing sides. And I feel like, Marceau, you were definitely choosing sides in the manner. Or in the matter, you were definitely choosing sides, because you then told Kimmy that Jalen is never wrong. Well, you're a person that would say that because you never consider your damn self as wrong. So now what? Okay, you do the same. You do the same. Okay. So why doesn't Tisha get her behind in there and make sure it's ran how she wants, and let Jalen learn, since she knows everything? America is waiting. Okay. Tisha is mad that Jalen doesn't let her talk that mess to him like he's a kid. She thought she was going to be able to boss up on somebody finally. Tisha is definitely the type to have an issue with him because of Kimmy. Look at how she handled people that don't blindly follow them. I think Tisha has an issue with Jalen because he speaks his mind like his mom does, and she doesn't like people calling her out. Y'all could be right. Y'all, it could be some of all of that. And understanding have a hard time putting themselves in other shoes. Okay, I think I missed that. She can be as delusional as a lot of people who lack understanding. Okay, gotcha. Kimmy was saying, I don't come to you about the things Jalen tells me like you come to me about the things Wanda says. Exactly. And that's why I feel like she brought it up, to use that as an example. Yeah. Tisha is such a hypocrite. Her people can fire shots, but when someone fires back, she looks confused. Agreed. And she's up there talking about her family only brings up stuff that they saw on the show, and then tried to equate that to Jalen, tried to bring up Jalen and what he had to say as if that was the same thing, and it wasn't. Your family confronts people, just like your family rolled up on Marceau and confronted him on some things he said in season 1 or whatever. So that's what your family does, but don't try and make it seem like they're the same when they're not. Kimmy looks like she about to give anybody. Oh no, I read that one. Anybody that wants to completely agree with you that Tisha is upset that Jalen got in that position that she don't think he should have. Half of your staff leaves and you still not trying to help. She tried to go ahead and take down the chairs. Girl, I hope they got behind their kitchen and their register. I agree. Jalen's communication is pretty clear and professional for him to be in his early mid-20s. He gets it from his mom. I'm sure Tish is hating on that. It could be a lot of what y'all said, but at the end of the day, it still for me goes back to misplaced. That boy ain't doing that to you. Misplaced. Plus, Tisha never answered his question when he asked if they were good. She just said, as far as family, they're good. Well, then I feel like that was a deciding fact. That was clear. But as far as business, they not good. Girl, she need to be mad at their husband. Their husband that knows everything but doesn't want to do a thing, honey. That's who you need to be mad at. I'm surprised Tisha didn't just be the GM since she's always complaining about being stuck at home with them kids, honey. Maybe she ain't have time because, you know, she went and got another master's. We don't know if she going to use it. Let us hope, child. Yep, you want to put me in an adult position? I'm going to speak to you like an adult. Both of them need to be in that restaurant. They do. They do. They need to be in that restaurant. I don't know if somebody needs to be a greeter, because one thing about Kandi Burruss, they're going to be in that restaurant. They're going to be in that restaurant. Okay? Now, they may be in the front end, on the back end. They're going to be there. And let me tell you what, OLG, them ladies be rotating. Okay? Because I've been in there a few times, and I've seen them ladies up there hugging the green folks. Okay, now they probably slacked a little bit due to the pandemic, but one thing about them OLGs and Kandi Burruss, them, they gonna be in their restaurant, a felon and all. They gonna be there though. You can't grasp tone over text messages, so it's how Tisha and Marlo perceived it based off their own personal feelings. Ooh, they're always projecting onto others, honey. Well, I'm gonna leave that up for a little bit. Goodness. Jalen, just like his mom, he don't bite his tongue. Okay, come on, Jalen. Tisha is sensitive, but how come you can't see how your actions may make others feel? I can't stand a one-sided sensitive person. I am sensitive. I'm a sensitive person, and I don't want to hurt others. I agree. I don't like to hurt others too either. And I can be a little sensitive myself. So why doesn't Tisha get her behind in there and make sure it's ran how she? Okay. I think I read that one. Tisha is mad that Jalen doesn't let her talk. I think I read that one too. Tiffany, go meet her match with Kimmy. We'll see. Because Kimmy didn't get her the first time, but when you call her a side chick, it hits a little different. But what I appreciate that Kimmy did, though, Kimmy did not really go all in on Tiffany like she could have. She really went in on the guys like she should have, because it started with y'all primarily with, what's this boy named? Martell. Martell tried to drag everybody down, honey. Martell tried to drag everybody down when things was not going his way. He sounded like Tom Girardi over there with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, honey. When that man started getting that lawsuit, baby, he was bringing everybody with him. This is confusing. They opened a black in Houston. What? They opened it? If the one isn't doing well with staff, I question how the other is doing. Child, I cannot. That's interesting. I didn't know that they opened that one down there in Houston. I do not think that was a smart idea if they don't have everything under control over here. I don't think they should have done that. Giving Marlo more reasons to be away from the house. Yikes. Maurice was very disappointing considering he is the only one to shut the side chick conversation down. Now I'm thinking he did lie about the timeline. Some of the Google reviews insist the lounge sucks. Which one? The one in Houston? Did Martell say, oh, Kimmy, you wasn't a side chick, just a 304? I didn't even hear that. I got to go back and listen. But they bleeped what he said out. Not a 304 or a 403. Which one will make a HOE? I don't know, but yikes. I believe it was one of Tisha's family members in that position and pulled off what Jalen had. She would defend them towards Marlo. She would. She would definitely defend them against Marlo. 1,000%. I thought Martell was being real respectful to Kimmy. The Scotts are trying to make some money to finish Scott Manor. Looks like they are. They better make the right moves. Marlo wants the Huntsville location to go down so he can live in Houston and be away from Tisha and the kids. Yikes. Thanks so much for the super chat. Jalen needs to quit. Of course. Absolutely. He needs to be out of there. So what does Martell think coleslaw is? Everybody is projecting, honey. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. He was definitely. Oh, my goodness. Yes, I've personally been there a few times, and Todd or Kandi was in the building. Okay, they're gonna be there. One thing about OLG, they is going to be there. I wanted Jalen to tell Tisha where she can put those reports and walk out on her ass. Okay. Yikes. Jalen should have never been hired as GM. How you hire somebody with no restaurant skills at all is bound to fail. Exactly. Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. That's all I have for the Love and Marriage Huntsville review. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. Be sure to check out my other videos. I did a video on Darian, who did an interview. Darian from Put a Ring on It, and I have some more content coming out. Real Housewives Salt Lake City comes on tonight. Real Housewives of Potomac comes on tonight. VMA's coming on tonight. Everything is getting crazy, okay? So be looking out for quite a few more videos. It's going to come out tomorrow, and I'm probably going to be going live quite a few times tomorrow as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.